A change in the classroom. The TEA is ordering schools to eliminate or modify any lessons that mention Cesar Chavez after sexual abuse allegations were raised against the civil rights leader. They also said the State Board of Education is already rewriting social studies standards, and Chavez is expected to be removed in the future. 6 News reporter Sydney Walker has local school districts' response and the mixed reaction from Hispanic community leaders. Sydney, what'd you learn?
Yeah, Bailey, Chavez was not only an icon for the Hispanic community, but also a champion for farm workers, establishing a union, improving wages and working conditions. But now the leader will disappear from Texas classrooms following new allegations. Syntex Hispanic Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Mito Diaz-Espinoza agrees there has to be accountability, but fears losing Latino history. Sexual abuse allegations against Cesar Chavez have tarnished the historical figure's legacy.
A personal loss and a personal hit for me.
Mito Diaz-Espinoza said learning the news was a shock, but he thinks change should happen.
In order to honor the women's voices and the victims and be true and representative of what we care about.
Here in Central Texas, like at Waco ISD Cesar Chavez Middle School, as hard as it may be.
So that's the only school named after a Latino, so having that taken away and not replaced by somebody else who is Latino would be a big loss to the community.
But he emphasized there should be a standard set for all controversies.
Presidents like Bill Clinton and Donald Trump have been named and even found liable in rape cases. Or if we go back in history and we think about founding fathers like Thomas Jefferson and George Washington and the things they've done, are we also going to stop those celebrations?
To support safe spaces.
To talk about what happened, how it happened, what the response is, especially for young women going through that, so they can know that we will believe them.
And also teach about both Chavez's triumphs and wrongdoings.
I think we need to treat everyone fairly when they're naming as well as removing a name, but that we should not engage in revisionist history.
Gloria Leal with National LULAC agrees.
We continue and should focus on the movement of leadership of farm workers, better working conditions and wages for work.
He says it's a hard path forward.
The part that scares me is if we remove Chavez's name from the curriculum, who's next? Who's the next prominent Latino you can think of that you were taught about in school? And chances are it's nobody.
But a chance to set a precedent.
So this is an opportunity to really teach what happens and that accountability for leaders who go through this.
I reached out to several school districts, and Waco, Temple, and Belton ISD all said they will comply with TEA's new requirements. Waco ISD also said at this time there have been no formal discussions or scheduled agenda items to rename Cesar Chavez Middle School.
All right, glad you got some perspective, Sydney. Thank you so much.